Hey, what's up YouTube? I am back after 2 weeks. Been taking a bit of a long break, but here I am with another banger. This is the iPhone 16 Pro Max. This is the phone I'm going to be reviewing today, and quite frankly speaking, this is going to be a pretty boring review. So, this right here, the new 16 Pro Max. But actually, this is the 13 Pro Max. This right here is the 16 Pro Max. But you get my point, right? It's the same phone. They look the same, they feel the same, they weigh the same. So you may ask, what's different? So let me put this aside. Okay, which one was which? Let me figure this out. Hold on.
It's the same thing, bro.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Yo, you cameraman knows. It's the same thing. Oh yeah, there you go. There you go. I found the one difference. So actually, let's talk about that. This right here. Apple, such a genius feature. Honestly, like this is one of the greatest features they've added to iPhone in a long time, right? Watch this. I do this. I didn't touch anything. Press another button. Boom, right here. What is that? I got a picture without touching the screen. I didn't even do anything. This phone was off. This is the camera control button. Okay, you know what? Let's get real. It's pretty useless. You already have action button that could have done the same thing. Apple's already made it so it can link to whatever feature you wanted to do. What's the point of this, Apple? Why did you add this? And you know, I'm gonna take this and lead it to I'm gonna talk about what are phone companies doing nowadays, right? Every phone seems the same. I just showed you this, the 13 Pro Max, and this. If I came to the public with you, other than maybe if you saw the notch, you're not gonna know which one's which, right? But why is that? You know, I feel like companies have reached a certain point in phones where phones, they're better off being boring. It's better for the consumer that they're boring, right? So what I mean is, if you keep bringing a new feature to a phone, that's good. But if you keep changing the entire identity of the phone, you know what's gonna happen? You're gonna lose that brand image. Companies look at this, people look at it, consumers look at this, and they're gonna think Apple. Just like how Samsung's doing it. Past 3 of their phones been looking the same. Past 3 iPhones been looking the exact same, right? And that's done for a reason. Now, some of you may hate them for that. And I know you guys want a different phone, but honestly, that's what makes the company you like stand out so much. That's what makes them them. So, whether you like it or not, that's what you're gonna have to deal with. Alright, enough of that. Let's talk about the actual stuff that matters to a lot of people. So, you buy a new phone, what's different about this from, let's say, the 13, the 14, the 15? So, first of all, from the 15, you get a slightly bigger screen. And that's not because the phone itself is bigger, it's a lot of the bezels, they look super minimalist, super modern now, right? Basically zero bezel on the phone now. So now it's a 6.9 inch display instead of 6.7. So have you ever seen Samsung S24 Ultra? It's around the same size as that now. And the RAM, if you don't know too much about RAM, don't worry about it. But all you gotta know is you do get a RAM upgrade. So what that means is you'll be able to have a lot more apps open. And then on top of that, you do get a A18 Pro chip. So every year on iPhone, right? On iPhone, Apple will include the new A series chip, A Bionic chips. So this phone, this time it has the A18 Pro chip, while the base models have the A18 normal chips. So what that means is if you're coming from let's say a 15 or 14, you're not gonna notice much of a performance difference. Maybe if you go a bit more back, like a 13, you might notice it. But to be honest, all of Apple's phones, they have super nice processors that are I can't lie, if you pick up an Apple phone from the past, it's gonna feel smooth. So it's not gonna feel slow even if you have a 13. So honestly, not too much of that. You're not gonna notice any performance difference really. You know, before I actually move on, there's one more thing I actually did forget to mention. So this display right here, you can go all the way from 1 nit to 2000 nits. Obviously the camera's not gonna pick it right away, and you know, you're obviously not gonna see it on camera because your screen might be actually dimmer than what this screen is showing. But yeah, this has the ability 1 nit to 2000 nits. So amazing in the dark and amazing outdoors. Alright, so you know, another massive, and this time I'm not being satirical, right? This time it's not satire, I'm being dead serious. Another massive thing with Apple, right? Yo, chill, why are you laughing, bro? Another thing, yeah, so oh, you got me. Okay, yeah, another thing. So this is the Apple AI, right? It's a pretty big thing. So if you want all the new features, you care about all that kind of stuff, right? You want oh, I want all these new features. I don't want the new board. I don't want the old board 15 has no AI, whatever. And you want all the new features on this. This is the phone to go for. Actually, I might have lied a bit about not being here, because yeah, sure, you want the AI features, but they're not here yet. Apple said this is an AI phone, but the AI isn't even here yet. This is on iOS 18. This is the phone starts right here, iOS 18. The funny part is, it doesn't even come with the AI that Apple literally said on the website, the AI phone. So what's up with that, Apple? What are you doing? So yeah, the AI update is gonna be here in a few months. They're still adding like a tinsy-wincy bit of AI right there. They're just sprinkling it a bit. I don't know if they're doing that on purpose or maybe they're actually just delayed. I'm pretty sure it's the second one. But yeah, a bit of AI. So honestly, you're not getting too many new features. One feature I do like though, I think I already briefly went over this. In the camera settings, what you can do if you record a video, and I'll get to that too, I'll get to the camera as well. If you record a video, anything, there's actually now there's an option for mics, and it uses AI. So let's say someone's talking in the background of your video, and you can just deafen them. Like you're talking and someone's talking in the background, you can just remove the audio. And that, honestly, hats off to Apple. That's actually pretty impressive, and I think that's actually a pretty good use of Apple AI, even if it is not fully there yet. So let's talk about the cameras next. Honestly, once again, just like the older phones, nothing really much has changed. You know, nothing much has changed. It's the same camera. Apple has always nailed the cameras, especially on video. So you do get the same Apple natural skin tone, whatever you like to call it. Apple does have a natural look to it. Whereas, you know, if you go somewhere like Samsung, you do get that vivid and punchy color, right? So you get, if you like that natural feel, this is the one for go for. But honestly, if you have 15, 14, even 13, it's the same thing, right? Cameras, they get maybe a tiny jump each year, maybe more zoom, maybe a bit more megapixels. But at the end of the day, it's like such a tiny difference. You're not really going to notice it unless you put in a massive TV where you're going to notice that tiny bit of imperfection. Maybe there. But yeah, if I have a 13 or 14, I wouldn't be stressing right now, right? It's again, camera button, really the only thing different in camera. But as if I move on to video, there is one thing that could be useful. So if you look here, it's 4K 120 FPS now. So most phones in the market are 4K 60 FPS. But yeah, this has 4K 120. But I would have liked to see maybe something like what Samsung has done with the 8K 30 FPS. Honestly, to me, that just seems more impressive and practical. Because 4K 120 FPS, sure, it's good, but it's only really good for slow-mo. If you really want to like, really slow down the footage without losing detail, that's what honestly 4K 120 is good for. So 8K option maybe next year, Apple, that would be great to see. You know, for me, actually a super fundamental part for me whenever I buy a phone. So I do a lot of buying and selling on phones. And for me especially, right, when I'm buying a phone, I always check what's the battery health. And I bet you've done that too. You're guilty of it too. Alright, don't lie to me. I know you have. You go on Facebook Marketplace, maybe you buy a secondhand phone, maybe you buy refurbished. You always look at the battery health, right? You do that, right? That means, that just shows that you care about the battery. Whether you think about it or not, you care a lot about the battery. And you know what? No one blames you for that. That's a big part of the phone. So what's the battery like on this phone, right? So Apple claims, right? And I'm just saying this is a claim because this is done in very specific lab conditions. So this might be like with data off and everything. They claim 33 hours of video playback. But they have not specified what quality, 480p, 1080p. No one knows what quality they're talking about, right? It could be 480p, it could be 720p. It could be with Wi-Fi on, Wi-Fi off, data on, data off. So my point is, what I'm trying to say here is, yeah, 33 hours, that's what Apple says. But you should expect to always get lower than that. Like, never expect to get more than the lab condition, because that is super, like, whatever they do, it's super, like, you know, calculated what they're doing. So 33 hours, sure, you might get close to that, but you're not gonna get 33 hours. Another thing, before actually cameraman ends the video, this thing has wireless charging, and again, this is 25 watts with Apple's specific wireless charger, and 15 watts with the Qi 2 wireless standard. Okay, yeah, Qi 2 wireless standard. So Apple does have a lot of catching up to do in that department, with the most Qi 2 devices being 25 watts, I believe. But no, actually, 25 watts? Yeah, 25 watts. So yeah, pretty slow charging in 2024, but you know, especially companies like Samsung that are considered slow with 45 watt. So it just puts into perspective how slow 25 watt charging is. Alright, yo, so I told you a bit about the phone, but let's keep it real. All the specs that I told you, it's not going to tell you the whole story. So let me tell you, this is my friend's phone, my cameraman's phone, actually, the one who's recording right now. And I've asked him a non-biased review of what he thinks. So he's had this for a few weeks, and these are his thoughts. So he says it's been a super reliable phone. This is his words. Cameraman, you can confirm, right?
Yes, yeah.
So, you know what he's told me. Maybe he wants to say it himself. Actually, I'll just say it, and he can correct me if I make any problem. But yeah, so he says the battery has been amazing so far. So he will easily get like full day worth of use and still like 30-40% battery left. Maybe even more, right? Depends what he's doing. And another thing is the performance has been amazing for him. And you know, I live in a cold part of Canada, right? It gets pretty chilly out here. I'm talking like -25, -30, almost -40 in the winter sometimes, but that's like rare. Well, my point is, this phone is like reliable, as in if you go out in the cold, it's not gonna die. It's not gonna just have automatic shutdowns, because like a lot of older phones, even a lot of like other phones, will just shut down. They're like, yo, you know, it's too cold. The battery just can't sustain the thing anymore. If you know, batteries are just not good in cold, right? So yeah, that's what my point being is, the Face ID, the camera sensors, the battery, the amazing performance, the reliability of this phone, right? It's like you can call it a Toyota. It's so reliable. It's not gonna let you down. This is like, if you get this phone, man, it's gonna be good for everything, right? Like, but you know, this is not the only phone that does that. And to be clear, this is an iPhone. A lot of people like iPhone, and it is amazing. It is an amazing phone, and I think it's amazing. But you do also have another alternative like this. This does a lot of things. This is the S24 Samsung, and it does a lot of things, and it also does some good. So right here, this is the S24, this is the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and these are both iPhone 16 Pro Max, and these are both just amazing options. Oh, what are you doing here? Oh, look at here. Yeah, look. This is Evie. Guys, this is Evie. Look, meet Evie. This is a new kitty. She's just 9 weeks old, so she's part of the new team actually. She's gonna be coming in a lot of videos. So let me know in the chat if you guys like Evie. Let me know if you like the name Evie actually. I was thinking Lion, but I think Evie's also good. All right. Okay, Evie, you can just. Oh, camera, I think she needs help getting down.
Yeah, I got her.
Yeah, she's up there. Actually, I got her. Yeah. Yeah, so she's a cutie. Look at her. Look at her. She's so cute. So, yeah, you do also have something like S24. Amazing phone. I also have a video. Right there, it'll just pop up. I think that's how you do it on YouTube. Yeah. So, I think this is not the only option. It's an amazing phone, but this is definitely not the only option you have. You also have this, or something on the Android side. So, yeah, if you want something like this, but for Android, you can watch my video on this. And you know, I'll just wrap this off. Actually, one last thing I do want to say. Let's say you're out in the freezing cold, and your boss calls you for work, and it's a really urgent call. It's like, yo, if you don't pull up right now, you're fired. Or let's say, yo, your mom's in the, like, you know, something bad happened. I hope none of you guys experience that. But let's say, like, your parents get in an accident or something. Your boss calls you, or your mom calls you or something. The hospital calls you, the nurse calls you. Your phone will be alive. Your phone will be there. The battery will be good. It won't give you any problems. You'll be able to pick up that call fine. So I'll be like, yo, your phone just, your mom just got in an accident. No way. Instead of like, yo, oh, my phone's dead. I would never know that my mom's even in a car accident. I wouldn't know that. So for that kind of stuff, this is amazing, right? And I'm not saying, and I'm not hoping by any means your parents are in a car accident. But yeah, there is that thing. It's a super reliable phone, and I'll just end the video off with that.
I just want to say, starting off, dude, like as I take that out of full charge, the 100%,
yeah,
I noticed it lasts like at least like 10 minutes before it drops down to 99.
Yeah,
and then after 99, it kind of goes a bit faster, and then when it gets to 1%, it's like, bro, that 1% is the longest 1% you'll ever have.
Yeah, so you heard the cameraman. Yeah, another thing, yeah, with Apple, it's the 100%. Always is for a long time. So honestly, a lot of people think they fake the 100% too. But yeah, that 100% stays for a long time, especially that 1% at the end. That long time. So you're chilling, man. This battery life is really good on this phone. And over here, yeah, if I don't really have anything much to say. Oh, Evie's down here. I'll give you one last look before I end the video off. Come here, Evie. Yeah, come here. Let me get around actually. Come around.
Guys, spam WEV in the chat.
Yeah, WEV. Look at her. Look at that. She's so cute, man. Look at that. Little paws. All right. Okay. Signing off. Okay, no, we'll just start off with me spinning around. Oops. Oh, I forgot the camera's recording. Okay, hold on. I'll be like this. So is it recording? Oh, you're recording? I just see a light.